Hey everyone, and welcome back to video number 3 of my marathon this week. So this is PR video number 2, and we're getting into this Azure dip powder kit. They were kind enough to send me another kit to review, and this kit was a little bit smaller, which is fine. I did put it to good use, and I just really enjoy their kits. I actually like their not just their powders, but I also love their dip liquids. Their activator, of course, activator smells, right? But their activator is not very strong. It doesn't burn my eyes once it's applied on the product and things like that. So definitely worth mentioning. And of course, it came with all of the cards and the instructions and all of the details and things you need to apply the dip powder. I am doing my voiceover in my car this morning, and it is very cold, so if you can hear my heat in the background or it sounds like a fan blowing, it's because I'm in my car. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this kit. So you don't get the brush saver in this one, but that's fine because I already have one, and to be honest, I rarely use it. I have it, but they did include the base, the activator, and the gel top. And then they also include this really pretty brush. Like, I always love the brushes that they include in their kits. It's different. I like it. It's big. It cleans off like a very large area all at once. I really enjoy that brush, and it's really soft, and I love the rose gold touch on the handle. I also like the color of it, of the bristles, like that earthy brown. Really pretty. And then here are the 4 beautiful dip colors. They're very springy. They're giving very spring vibes. They're giving very light colors. I wouldn't say they're really neon. The yellow was the closest thing to neon. I actually really like this shade of yellow. And I will show you the powders, but I do not swatch them. I just figured I would allow you guys to see what they look like as I apply them on my nail. And yeah, these are just really pretty. So again, it came with 4 colors. This is color number 50. It is a bright yellow, very pretty. Color number 51 is going to be the green color. Right now I'm just organizing like how I wanted to keep them open because I'm going to be using them. This green is actually pretty dark, but I still really like it. You can see that it's very pigmented, and you'll also see the little bit of residue on my fingers after I dipped them. But I was able to get all of that cleaned off and wiped off. I'm just glad that the pigment didn't interfere with the application process. And then I'm not really into pink, but I thought that the pink that came with this kit was very pretty. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked it. It's so gorgeous. And then last but not least is this really pretty color. It's number 368, and this is like, it's almost like a red orange. If it were to be neon, it'd be like the red orange neon color. Excuse me, but it's still very pretty in a very spring type color. So yeah, again, this is color number 368. And here are the infamous comic book drip nails. It is time to say goodbye to these nails, unfortunately. As much as I love them, yeah, they gotta go. So I do show you the filing process and how I prep my nails this time. I did go ahead and remove this set. It was really interesting though, like with the pigment powders that I used on this set, how it filed off. It almost came off in like chunks. But I am using a coarse grit a coarse grit tornado bit to remove all of this stuff because I didn't want to be here all day. I'm using this at first it started out around 9 RPMs, and then I turned it up to like 12 or 15 because again, it was just kind of taking forever, but I do speed through this process. I just wanted you guys to be able to see this. This nail file is a brand called Yafex, Y-A-F-E-X. I actually saw this on Nailed by Nikki. Or what is her channel? I can't remember her name, the name of her channel, but I really love her channel, and now she only posts videos every once in a while, and I'm really sad. She was one of those YouTubers that I love to watch, and I like literally couldn't wait for her videos to come out. But anyway, she reviewed this drill on her channel, and I think I only paid like $40 for this drill. And as a DIYer, like the handle is a little bit heavy, but at the same time, it's lasted me a really long time, and the charge lasts forever. It like literally never loses charge in between sets. And I love the fact that it is rechargeable. Even if it isn't cordless, the cord doesn't bother me, but I can move it around my desk wherever I want it. It's very convenient. Love that drill. So after I have everything mostly filed off, you can see I have a little bit of lifting in some areas, but I'm going to get that with the E-file. So I went ahead and pushed back my cuticles, and then, not the E-file, sorry. I did go ahead and, use just a regular nail file to buff the surface of my natural nail and also level some of this out. Now, I did not prep my nail file at first, and you see how I kind of pulled back my skin? That's because I cut myself. And then for some stupid reason, I just kept trying to file my nail into a different shape, and I just kept cutting myself deeper with the file. Like, I don't know why I thought it wouldn't touch that part of my finger again, but anyway, I did go in and score my files, so you definitely always want to do that before you start filing your nails in general at all, whether it's your natural nail or anything like that. But I did decide to go with a coffin shape. So coffin is my favorite. So now that my nails are long enough, they're still kind of a sporty length, but they did grow out a little bit more, and I was like, I just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. Like coffin or almond are one of my favorite shapes when my nails are around this length. They're the easiest to work with, and the edges don't get caught like on square nails and things like that. So after I have everything prepped, this is what it's looking like. I did want to make sure that it was very nice and crisp and a really good shape before I start my dip application, so that way I don't lose the shape throughout applying the dip powder. So I did go ahead and give all of the dip powders a really, really good stir. I did not do that last time, and I just felt like that wasn't advantageous to the dip powder itself. I just feel like they do look a little bit better once you stir them up a little bit. And here, baby Cheeto turned the light off on me in the middle of trying to start the video. So I took the opportunity to show you what everything looks like once it's completely filed and finished and ready to go. Excuse me, and shaped up. So I do show you in real time just me dipping all of my nails for the first layer. I go about halfway up the nail to kind of build that apex up a little bit. I really like the consistency of this dip base. It's just thick enough. It's not too thin. It's not so thick that every layer is unmanageable or hard to work with. And it just makes application so easy because their powders are very fine and they are very, very pretty. Yeah, like I can't even explain it anymore. It's just so easy to apply their dip powder, like literally. And this is one of my favorite ways to apply acrylic to my nails since I can't use monomer very often. So it's just like having, an easy way to get an acrylic set without having to use monomer, basically. And like I mentioned, their liquids do not smell or stink or anything like that. I did want to mention that as I'm tapping my nails, you want to be sure not to hit since your base coat is still wet, just make sure that you don't hit it on the edge of the jar and, get any indents and things like that in your nail. So after the second coat is applied, this is me just brushing it off. I do brush off the extra or excess dip in between layers and just check out the color and the shape just to make sure I'm headed in the right direction. After the third layer, I felt like the yellow was still a little bit thin. So here I am just going to go in and do one extra layer of the yellow only. So in all, I do 4 layers on the yellow, but I only had to do 3 for the other colors. The yellow wasn't really like picking up as much, should I say, in the base coat as the other colors were, but that did not impact the color at all. It did not impact the pigment. I just had to do an extra layer. Maybe it was, you know, a little more fine than the other powders. I don't know what would cause it to do that or why the application was different, but this is only like my 5th or 6th time doing dip powder nails. I do not do dip powder very often at all, so I was pretty proud of this application. It wasn't super chunky, it was really smooth, it makes it really easy to file, and I did include some of the filing process in here as well. After I'm done with my final layer of dip powder, I go in with the activator. I actually do 2 coats of activator. I just want to make sure that this really gets absorbed and soaks up down into the dip that is on my nails. So the activator is what strengthens and hardens the base glue that you use to apply the dip powder. If you want to do additional layers, I always recommend doing no more than 4 layers of dip powder at a time. I would at this point apply activator if I wanted them to be a little thicker, and then go in with your base gel and do additional layers, so that way you know that the activator is getting absorbed through the entire nail. I'd imagine if you have too many layers or too much dip powder on your nails that the activator would be hard to it'd be really hard for it to reach those bottom layers and absorb and everything like that. But I'm satisfied with the 3 layers that I did on the other 3 nails. And I just did the 4th layer on the yellow. So yeah, this is how everything is looking after application. And I think it looks absolutely beautiful. And this was very easy to do. It literally took me like maybe 15 minutes altogether to record that entire thing, even with the parts that I didn't cut out. So you can see I'm taking my nail drill again, and I'm going in at a speed of 4. And this is the fine sanding band that I use to, I think I mentioned I use my hand file to rough up the surface of my nail. I apologize. I actually go around my cuticle with a fine sanding band that I have scored on a larger file, so that way it doesn't cut me. Excuse me, like the big file did. So I just use that same fine sanding band that I used to prep my nails to go ahead and secure the dip powder and get it nice and flush with my cuticle. Now, I did notice I was a little more heavy on the base coat on the right hand side of my nail, or the side that is closest to me. And I don't know why. Probably because it's harder for me to see the other side of my hand, right? So I was a little lighter on the other side, but for some reason it was really thick on the side closest to me. Either way, I did go ahead and get it. I just use really light pressure, right? Especially when filing. I use a 100-180 grit nail file for all of my filing. They are my favorite grit since I only use poly gel or sometimes even builder gel or just regular even dip powder nails. It's just my favorite grit. I don't know why, but it just seems to get the job done very efficiently without removing too much product, especially since I have a heavy hand. So again, I'm just maintaining that shape. I'm making sure I keep a little bit of an apex. My nails are a sporty length, so I didn't really need that high of an apex. And honestly, this dip powder is very strong and very sturdy, just like acrylic, like if you were doing an acrylic overlay. So yes, I really enjoy this application. So thank you again to AZUREBEAUTY so much for sending me this dip powder. And I will be back once we get into decorating these nails. So I wanted to come back and mention really quick before we do get into decorating nails that I did go in with another layer of activator. So after you file, again, this is just to ensure that the activator goes completely through all of the powder and it's hardened, and then I let that dry for another 2 to 3 minutes. So you can see I have a little bit of help here decorating, and look at my little one. She keeps stealing little flowers with her little chubby hands. Look, she stole the whole tray. Like, she was just being a menace at this point. She likes to help me, and excuse me, I just thought it was so cute. She just kept trying to steal my stuff. I'm like, I literally gave you flowers and a tray to play with, and you still just keep coming on and like bugging me. But anyway, since it is almost springtime, I felt like these flowers were a perfect fit with these colors, and I really liked the way that they matched and went with the set. So I did go ahead and apply these with my Macart rhinestone glue. It's my favorite rhinestone glue. Like, it just works. Sometimes I do forget like how big these actual like shapes or rhinestones might be and how much glue I might need. So I did go ahead and add more glue and a little bit of a longer line. Sometimes if you get lucky, when you press this down, when you press them down on the glue, then a little bit seeps through that hole, and you can put the caviar beads in the middle and adhere it with the rhinestone glue that seeped through. In this case, I did go in with a little cuticle pusher and added a little bit more rhinestone glue to the middle of each flower. So I cured this for 60 seconds, added some more rhinestone glue to the middle of each flower, and then put these little caviar beads in the center. Could have went with gold or silver either way, but I am a silver person. I love silver. And then I also went in with my favorite shiny top coat. I did use a gel top coat this time instead of the one that came with the kit. I felt like the gel top that came with the kit would dry too fast, and I didn't want it to dry too fast on me while I was trying to go around these rhinestones. Or no, I shouldn't say rhinestones, but around these flowers. They're just so dainty and cute, and I really love this set. It doesn't matter which color that you choose. This would just be such a cute design. And I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I want to thank everyone for being the best part of my channel, and I will see you in my next video.